Well, hello there. Welcome to Klein Farm Channel. I'm Tyler, and today I'm gonna do the video I've been wanting to do for a while. I don't really think I'm quite ready to do it yet, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I have a lot of people interested, and like I've lost almost, if not more than 70 pounds already. But my ultimate goal is to be at around 150, 155 pounds. Maybe 160 depending on how I fill out. But I am 194 right now. I've been 194 for the last month, probably last month and a half or so. I haven't really been doing too much. I just been taking it slow. My first 2 months of the diet, I lost 50 pounds. Then I lost another, probably I have it all written down, like 14, 15, 20 pounds in the next month after that. But the way it works, I call it the 222 diet, even though the it's not really that in order. But the first 2 months are the absolute most important by far. The first 2 months, you will lose 50 pounds or very, very close to it if you follow exactly what I am saying. Now, if you have medical conditions and stuff, this is at your own risk. Like, I am 29 years old. I am fairly healthy. I mean, other than being like really, really fat, I have no health problems. But I was getting to the point where I was getting close to death, I think, from how heavy I was. And like I couldn't walk up the stairs. I couldn't do much of anything without losing my breath. I'd just sit and take a break after walking up the stairs. But I haven't been heavy very long. Like I'm still overweight. I'm 194 pounds right now. I'm still overweight, but I am not obese like I was. I was very obese. I was over 260 at my heaviest. I'm in 262, 265. I don't know. After I saw myself on the scale, I never weighed myself again after that. That just broke my heart. But I wasn't always like that. Like I got really big really fast. Like I was hanging out around 200 for years, and I gained like 60 pounds in a year, and it took a while to get it back off because depression and overeating and eating your emotions, eating your feelings. Whenever I'd get mad, whenever I would get upset or depressed, I would just eat. Because eating is a huge comfort thing. Like just eating your emotions. If you're sad, if you're mad, if you're real upset about something, just eat. Eat, 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 eat. But I don't know. Here's basic the basics of the diet. I will make a more detailed video in the future, but I want to be closer to my absolute goal, if not already at the goal when I make the final video of it. I mean, I've been neglecting my diet for the last month or so, but the way my diet works, you can do that. But I've stayed the same weight. I haven't gained weight back, but I've stayed the same. But the first 2 months are the absolute most critical. The first 2 months of my diet, I only drank water, nothing else. No juice, no milk, no soda, no coffee, nothing. That is essential. Do not drink anything but water, and drink a lot of water. A lot of water. And only eat 3 times a day. Absolutely no snacks. I started off with, I think, 3 eggs for breakfast for the first 2 weeks, and I went down to 2 eggs because I I don't need 3 eggs. I mean, I was eating them, but then 2 eggs is plenty. So I ate 2 eggs. It didn't matter if they were scrambled or over easy, hard boiled. It doesn't matter as long as you eat the whole egg. 2 eggs for breakfast. Then I can of. The main thing I did. I am a creature of routine. So I don't like change. I like doing the same thing every single day. I like routine. So what worked best for me is we went to Walmart and bought a whole bunch of Campbell's Chunky Soup. Like this, beef with country vegetables, Campbell's Chunky Soup. I would always look at the calories per serving per container. So 230 calories for this entire can. And I hope you can hear that. But if you can't, that's the sound of how much liquid's in there in broth. Because that's how I would pick it. The beef with country vegetables or beef vegetable soup, because there are 2 different ones. They're both around that. I eat a lot of them. And chunky chicken noodle soup, not regular chicken noodle, get the chunky. Because this has 230 calories and it is 18 ounces. And again, you can hear all the liquid in there. Even though there's noodles in it, the noodles don't really affect that much weight loss. Now, any kind of a chunky soup, I don't recommend that. Just look at the calories per container. Like 430, like that's a lot of calories. Like if you're trying to lose weight and you hear that, there's no water inside. Like it's very, very thick and you don't want that. The steak and potato, 250. I didn't really eat any of these, but that would be a good one too. You can hear the water in there, and it has meat and potatoes in it. But I don't recommend this one for the diet either. I highly, highly recommend the Van Camp's pork and beans for the diet. I eat these all the time. It's 100. Oh, it's not 130 per container. See, when you're counting calories, they lie to you a bunch. Like you look, oh, it's 130 calories per the whole can. No, it's not. You do that 130 times it by 3.5. So it's about 450 calories per can. But beans are the absolute best thing you can eat on a diet. Beans will destroy that belly fat. They will go in and they will chop it all up, and you will lose weight like you have never imagined if you eat beans. Beans, beans, beans. And they are very filling. Now, the 2 main Campbell, well, there was about 3 or 4 main Campbell's Chunky Soups that are all I ate. And that was like the country beef vegetable soup, or the beef with vegetables, and the chicken with rice, and the chicken and vegetables, and wild turkey and wild rice. They're all good. They're all very liquidy, very brothy, and you want to drink the broth. Do not just eat the food out of it, then throw the broth away. You got to drink the broth, because that is the broth is the most important part. Because essentially, you're on a liquid diet. Essentially, drink lots of water, eat a can of soup, the whole can for lunch and dinner. You have 1 can for lunch and you have 1 can for dinner. Or you can have a can of pork and beans for lunch, or a can of pork and beans for dinner, or you can do both. You can have a can of soup for lunch, and you can have a can of pork and beans for dinner, or a can of pork and beans for lunch, a can of beans for soup, soup for dinner. I'm sorry. It doesn't really matter, but on days where you're feeling sluggish and like you're bloated and stuff, eat less beans, like eat fewer calories, like eat the chicken or turkey soup. I didn't eat too much beef because beef is not good for a diet. I Beef is the least soup I ate. Even the beef vegetable soup, it's the least I ate. I ate more chicken than anything. And I'm trying to remember the name. The one favorite soup I had, it was very, very spicy. It was a Camel's Chunky Soup, and it was Jazzy Jambalaya. And that was very spicy. It had chicken, sausage. I think it had ham in it too, and it had rice and vegetables. And I ate that almost every day. And spicy food really, really helps you lose weight too. So I highly recommend that one. And on days where you're just really, really hungry and like you can't take it almost, like you're just starving, I recommend a can of chili mac. And it's like that's like 450, 500 calories. And it is really good. Like that's like my favorite soup that they have. Other than that Jazzy Jambalaya, chili mac is really good and it's really thick. Like it's not real runny and brothy because it's chili. It has macaroni noodles in it, and it has beans and stuff. So it's a lot of calories, but also it fills your belly up. Like there are times I couldn't finish the bowl of it, and it's the same weight as all the other cans. It just has less broth, but that really, really fills you up, and it that really fills you up, and it just makes you feel a lot better. Then the next morning you're not bloated or anything from it because you're basically just eating chili with beans and stuff, and that really helps your diet too. So I was in a hurry. I was in a big hurry to lose as much weight as I could possibly because my first goal my first goal was to be under 200 pounds by the time I turned 30. And my birthday's in December, so it was January 1st when I started my diet because it was a New Year's resolution diet to be under 200 pounds by my birthday because I didn't want to be 30 years old, be over 200 pounds, and be so fat and heavy. And I just thought that'd be a bad precedent and just keep going and getting bigger and bigger until I die. So, but I beat my goal um, pretty quickly. Like it took me uh, January, February, I lost 48 pounds. Then I took off March. Yeah, I took off March and April, I think. Yeah, I took 2 months off. I did 2 months of hardcore dieting, 2 months off. That's a 222 diet. Then I came back. Then in May is when I got below 200 pounds. And that was such a relief and such happiness, joy for me. Like it meant the world to me. I mean, losing all that weight. And you can see in my older videos, I struggled to breathe. Like I could barely breathe. I could barely walk. I could barely do anything. But in my older videos, like all you can hear is me breathing in the background. Like I didn't put my face on the camera, like in my early videos a few years ago. Like I didn't put my face on the camera because I was so fat and I didn't want people to see me. But anyway, back to the diet. Um, so the chili mac, I don't recommend eating that every day because it is a bigger filling meal. Filling meal, but you can eat it a couple times a week. But if you're not in a big hurry to lose weight like I was, because my new goal is to be at 150, 155 by my birthday, and I still have 5 months or so for that, so I can do that. I'm I just been slowing down since I got under 200. I really slowed down with it, just taking my time, not rushing so much with it. But I mean, if you're not in a big hurry anyway, you can just really take everything I say with a grain of salt and just go slower and just use what I say, use my technique to lose weight gradually over time. But I call it the 222 diet because 2 months of hardcore dieting, 2 months off. Now, on the 2 months off, well, I'll get to that. 222. 2 months hardcore dieting, 2 months off, 2 months more hardcore dieting. And I went over the 2 months of hardcore dieting in the very beginning. That's essential. Like water, can of soup, can of beans, 2 eggs for breakfast. 2 eggs for breakfast right away in the morning. A can of soup or a can of beans for lunch. A can of soup or a can of beans for dinner. That's it. No snacks, no nothing for the first month. Now, if you want to replace a can of soup or beans with like a small portion of salmon, that'll be fine, but not a big hunk of salmon, and not salmon with macaroni and cheese and biscuits and stuff on the side. No, just a small piece of salmon. No, they got big, like maybe 4 to 6 ounces of salmon, maybe 8 ounces, but I'd say around 6 ounces of salmon to replace a can of soup. But that'll work too. I didn't really eat any salads or vegetables. I mean, I ate vegetables afterwards, but like during the first 2 months, 2 eggs, can of soup or a can of beans, can of soup or a can of beans, and every once in a while, salmon. But if you go out to eat somewhere, or if you go to a family gathering or picnic or something, or if you're just really hungry for something and you stuff your face, you eat like 3, 4 big platefuls of food, like on a Friday or something, don't worry about it. You're, it's not going to kill your diet. Like, you're not going to gain 5 pounds overnight. I mean, you might, depending on how much you eat, but it's all going to be in the toilet the next day. Like, that weight ain't going to stay on you. Because I know from experience, it's what you call a cheat day. Even it. Now, if you do it 2, 3 days in a row, yeah, that's going to really hurt your diet. But if you're doing it once, every other week or so, eating a big meal like that, that's fine. Because it ain't going to hurt nothing. As long as you stick to the diet every other day. But, and the third set of 2-2-2 diet would be more hardcore dieting. But what I've done, because the first 2 months they train your body and your mind, because you got to break the habit of just overeating, and that's what the first 2 months of hardcore dieting is for, to break that habit. Because after a month of only eating 3 times a day and eating like 2.5 pounds of food a day, your body doesn't start craving it as much as it used to, and you're used to not eating as much, so you're not as hungry, and after a while you're not as hungry at all, and you can go more, you have more energy, you have more drive to go do stuff, to get up off the couch and go do something. And that's another thing. I did exercise, not too much. In the first month I lost 26 pounds and I barely got off the couch. I got up and I took care of the kids and I changed their diapers and fed them, and that was about it. Like, I took care of them, and I didn't do too much other than that exercise wise for the first month. Then after the first month, I started getting up. I started walking. I walked around the street there. And I started walking out 2 laps, and I'd try to beat that every day, 2, 3 laps, 4 laps. And it got to the point I was walking 10, 12, 15 laps every day. And that was a couple miles. And that really made a big difference. Because if I'd walk 10 laps, I'd lose 10 pounds. 2 pounds. I'm sorry. If I'd walk 10 laps around the block there, I'd lose 2 pounds. And it was mainly water weight, but there was some fat in there too. And if I did that every day, the weight would stay off. That's how you lose a pound or two a day. Walk a couple miles every day. And I also did push-ups. I've really been neglecting my push-ups over the last month. I really have. But start off doing as many as you can. Like, if you can do 10 push-ups, do 10. And tomorrow do 10. And the day after that do 10. Do 10 for a week. Then try do 20. Do 20 every day. Then try do 40 every day. Then keep going. And I like to do at least 100 a day. Before I started neglecting it, I was doing around 200-300 a day. And that is way more than enough. I mean, if you do 20 push-ups a day, that is great. I mean, you'll see results. If you do push-ups every day, you're going to see absolute results right here in your traps and your arms and your abs. Like, even if there's a whole big bunch of fat on top of your abs, your stomach is going to look more toned from doing them push-ups, and your back. Like, push-ups are the absolute best exercise you can do other than walking, because push-ups help your entire body. Like, you have no idea how much push-ups help your body. Like, you don't have to do any other exercise. People go to the gym, they pay all these hundreds or thousands of dollars a year to lift weights and do all this stuff. No, you don't gotta do that. I've never been in a gym in my life other than in, like, school. So, push-ups and walking. If you go to the park, and 90% of parks have a track, walk around the track a couple laps. And normally, like, depending on how big it is, like 4 or 8 laps around the track is a mile. And walk a mile. And it gets easier after a while. It really, really does. It really does. And push-ups and walking. And that really helps. And push-ups really help too with the sagging skin. Like, I was very, very, very lucky. Like, my skin, like, got toned real back in. Like, I don't have any sagging skin yet. I mean, I got 45 pounds to lose yet. And I'll have lost over 100 pounds after I get to my goal. Well, probably around 120 pounds. Well, yeah, around 110, 120 pounds after I reach my ultimate goal. So I might have a little bit, but push-ups, they tighten your skin, they just make you feel so much better. And after a while, with doing them every day, it feels good to do push-ups, and you start to feel crappy if you don't do your push-ups. Like, I'm a creature of habit. So I'm used to doing stuff every day, and if I don't do stuff every day, like, it just throws me all off and out of whack. But third part is like that. Like, I haven't been eating soup and pork and beans for a while, because I pretty much eat whatever I want now, because I'm in the third cycle of the 222. And once you've been doing it for so long, because I'm in my 7th month now, I started January 1st, and I can eat I can eat spaghetti, I can eat steak, I can eat fried chicken, I can eat whatever I want. But you gotta eat the right amount. And this is absolute essential. You gotta drink water. Lots and lots and lots of water. Now, I do have a soda every once in a while. I drank a Gatorade the other day. But I drink water, water, water. Like, it's days in between that I drink anything else. Water is the most essential key to keeping the weight off. Because I'm a week into the 2nd month of really just staying at 194. But I'm going to start here today. I'm starting back on the doing more of a hardcore because I want to get down into the 80s at least here in the next week. So yeah, I've been in the 90s too long, and if you get stagnant, the diet dies. Now, once you're at your ultimate goal, like when I'm around 150, 155, that's the time to be stagnant. That's the time to, you know, I got this. I can just stay where I'm at for a while, because you don't want to get lower than that. But I've been pretty stagnant, but I've been consistent because I haven't been overeating and I've been drinking water and I've just been consistent at my weight because I know my body. I know how much I can eat. I know how much I shouldn't eat to keep the weight where I'm at right now because I've trained it over the past 6-7 months to know how much I can have and how much is too much. And you can too. Just follow what I'm doing and it'll happen. I promise you it will happen. Now, I watched an interview with Ethan Suplee. He was on a podcast. It wasn't Joe Rogan's podcast. It was somebody else. I don't remember the guy's name. He was on the podcast with. But he played Randy. He played Randy on My Name is Earl. And he was in that one football movie with The Rock like 23 years ago. He was in American History X. And like he was really, really, really big in American History X. And he lost like 200 pounds or so from that to My Name is Earl. But he was still a big boy in My Name is Earl. But he was my inspiration. And I want to thank him very much. I doubt he'll ever see this video, but if you do, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And he inspired me to lose the weight because I based my diet off of what he said in that podcast. Off of that, and I read an article last year about a guy who lost over 100 pounds, and all he ate was beans. Beans, nothing else. And I love beans. Beans taste really good. Like you can have baked beans or pork and beans, but I think pork and beans are a little bit healthier than baked beans. Baked beans have a lot more unhealthy stuff in them. But you can even eat 3 bean salad, whatever. As long as you're eating beans, you're good. You're on the mark. Like navy beans, kidney beans, soybeans, lima beans, anything like that. Green beans are beans, but they ain't gonna. They'll help you lose weight, but I mean, I don't think they're like the same kind of bean. But it'd get tiring eating green beans all like that. But Ethan Suplee was on the podcast, and he said about how he did the liquid diet. which pretty much just eating soup for 2 months, and he lost 50 pounds. And I'm here to tell you that works, because that's pretty much what I did. But I made it my own a little bit, because I did the 2 eggs and soup and beans. But for like the first 2 weeks, I ate nothing but soup. But 2 eggs and soup for lunch and soup for dinner. And then I started adding the baked beans in after I lost a few pounds already. And beans, they really help. I mean, beans will burn belly fat like nothing else. If you Google best foods to lose weight, it'll say beans, it'll say salmon. And that's the truth. Now, soup too. Soup really, really helps you lose weight. And I can't stress this enough. I mean, I know buying the soup every day and beans and stuff, like, no, the pork and beans, they're like $1 or less a can. And, Campbell's Chunky Soup, I don't know how much they are. They're a little bit more expensive than that. They might be like $1.50 or so a can. I don't really remember how much they are. But that can get expensive. Just eating that every day. But in the long run, it's cheaper than eating fast food every day. It's cheaper than going out to eat every day. And you're going to lose weight. And they have like 20 different flavors of it. But get the ones that have more broth and lower calories. The lower calories, the better. And eat at the same time every day. Like I ate breakfast at 10 o'clock, lunch at like 1:30, and dinner at like 6 o'clock every night. And a routine is perfect. Get up in the morning. As soon as you get up, do your push-ups. 10, 20, however many you can do. I do 35 at a time now. 35, 70. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah, 35, 35 is 70. So I was right. And then 105, then 140, then just, I like doing that because it makes my head think a little bit too. Been out of school for 11 years now, so you gotta keep your head thinking too. You gotta do math every once in a while so you don't forget it. But do as many as you can. I mean, I can do probably 50 without stopping, but I mean, that takes time and that like wears you out more. So you don't have to do 100 push-ups at once. If you do 20 push-ups at a time, that's good. Do 20 push-ups 8 times a day. And it takes 30 seconds to do 20 push-ups. Now, when you first start doing it, it might take you a while. But just do 10. If you can do 10, do 10. Do 5. Do however many you can do. And that will help. It will not hurt. If you can do 1 push-up 8 times a day, do it. It will help. But I'm rambling here a little bit. I mean, I have a lot of people requesting this. This is really why I'm doing it right now. But I'm going to do a better video on it in the future, in a few months. Because I want to wait till I'm at my ultimate goal. Because I'm still overweight. I really am. Now in my pictures I look skinny, but I'm not. I mean, I'm very skinny relative to what I used to be. Like I've lost 70 pounds. But I'm still overweight. Because I'm 5'6", 5'7", right around there. And when I went to join the army, before they told me no 4 times, because I tried 4 different times in North Carolina and in Pennsylvania to join the army. And they told me no, multiple times. And it wasn't because I was fat, because I wasn't fat when I went to join the first time, right out of high school, because I was in ROTC for 4 years. I was a captain in ROTC, and that was my plan. I was going to join the Army and stay in the Army 30 years. But no. Because they're very, very picky. Believe it or not, they're very picky. But they told I was a little overweight for it by like, I think 10 pounds when I went to join the first time. Because they said for my height, the maximum weight would be 162 pounds to enlist. And they said that would be fine because I would lose that amount of weight there at basic training anyway. But yeah, they wouldn't let me in. So I want to be the basis of why I'm saying this is for my height, anything over 162 pounds is fat. And I wrestled at 135 pounds. I don't want to be 135 pounds. That's really, really skinny. But I was jacked. Like I had like an 8-pack abs and I could lift 500 pounds. I don't want to do that. I want to be around 150, and because 150 is still that's pretty skinny. But that would be good for me. 150, 155. But that's the basis of the diet, pretty much. The 2-2-2. 2 months, first 2 months, extremely hardcore dieting. 2 eggs for breakfast. Can of soup or a can of beans for lunch. Can of soup, can of beans for dinner. And that's it. Just water. Drink lots of water. All the water you can drink. Don't put flavor packets in it. You can put a slice of lemon in it. You can have lemon water, because that ain't gonna hurt you at all. You can have lemon. You can even put lemon and a lime in it. That ain't gonna hurt you. But you can have lemon water. But drink as much water as you want. Don't have any soda. No alcohol. Absolutely no alcohol. Because I didn't think of that till just now. But I'm glad I thought of it. Don't drink any alcohol on the diet. Now on your off months, you can have some here and there, but in the first 2 months, don't drink any alcohol, especially beer. Don't drink any beer anyway. Beer's nasty. I never liked beer. But no, I haven't drank really since the boys were born. I mean, no particular reason other than I just don't have time, or I don't have time or money, or I don't want to. I mean, I never really drank a lot. I just drank when I felt like it. Like I used to go to bars a lot, but I used to work at a bar, and like I mainly just went out to be around people and for fun. But alcohol, especially beer, that makes your belly grow. And liquor doesn't as much. Like I used to drink liquor. Like I didn't drink beer, but you drink a lot less liquor than you do beer. Beer has all that stuff in it, and it just sits in your belly, and it gives you a big old beer gut, and you don't want that. The diet will not work. Well, it might work, but it ain't gonna work correctly. You won't lose as much weight if you're drinking a 6-pack of beer a day. Don't do that. Don't have 1 beer a day. If you're on the diet, don't drink any beer. But then the second part, 2-2-2. The second 2 months, you can take 2 months off or you can take 1 month off. But this is a big but. If you take 2 months off, do not fall off the wagon. I mean, it really all depends on how much weight you want to lose, too. I mean, you might lose all the weight you want in the first 2 months. If you do it correctly, you'll lose 50 pounds or right at 50 pounds, because I lost 48. But I had a lot of cheat days in there at the end, too. And I wasn't pushing myself as hard as I could have. But if you don't think that you're capable of doing it for 2 months, taking it off, because 2 months hardcore dieting, then 2 months of break, meaning that you're still on the diet, but you can eat whatever you want, but you got to eat it small portions and predominantly water. On the break months, you can drink soda, but do not drink a soda every day. Don't drink 10 sodas a day. Don't stop drinking water. If you stop drinking water, the diet's gone. If you stop drinking water, the diet is ruined. Because if you have 4 sodas a day, that's going to pack on weight. And you're going to start eating as much food as you want. It's going to be like you never even started the diet. And you'll be like, well, I lost 50 pounds. I mean, that's good. That's good enough. Well, yeah, but if you were like me and had to lose 100 pounds, that's just you're going to lose 50 pounds and you're going to gain it right back in a few months. And you don't want to do that. Like the 2 month, I took off 2 months and I gained back 6 or 8 pounds. And that was it. And I lost that very, very quickly after I started the diet back again. This is what I did. 2 months hardcore dieting. I took 2 months off. Then I had 1 month of very hardcore dieting too. And that's when I got down below 200 pounds. Then I'd be in June, and I took the month of June off pretty much. I didn't gain a pound. Then I stayed consistent. Then now we're in July, month 7, and I've been neglecting it a little bit here the first few days, but I'm starting back hardcore on it now. And by the end of the month, I would be in the low 80s, if not the 70s. But it really all depends on variables. Because if it's raining every day, I can't go to the park, and it's been 100 degrees every day for the last week, and the foreseeable future, it's going to be 100 degrees every day. So, I mean, the hot weather doesn't bother me at all anymore. It really doesn't. Last year, I wouldn't have been able to sit outside here in the heat, because it's 100 degrees out right now. I wouldn't have been able to sit out here and do it. I mean, I'm not even sweating. But I'd be dying if it was last year. I wouldn't be able to breathe just sitting here. But the heat doesn't bother me too much anymore. But I ain't gonna walk when it's raining. But the video's getting pretty long, and I'm just rambling on. I'm pretty sure not many people are gonna watch this part. So here is essentially the bottom line of what you gotta do. Drink water. The first 2 months are critical. 2 eggs for breakfast, can of soup, can of beans. That's it. Lots of water. And take off a month or 2. Keep in control of it. Drink water. Don't gain too much weight back. Now you can eat whatever you want, because the last 2 months you couldn't eat anything, and I know that is painful, because I cooked and I made I still cook dinner every night, and I made a whole bunch of good food, pasta, chicken, all kinds of good, yummy, unhealthy stuff, and I couldn't eat any of it. And it almost killed me that I couldn't eat any of it because I was so hungry for it. But you know what? Everybody else sat at the table and they ate their food, and I ate my can of beans or can of soup. And you can too. Because you know what? After 2 months, you can sit down and you can eat with them too. Let's eat a small portion of it. And you can do it. I believe in you. You absolutely can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So, that's the gist of it. Then just keep doing that until it works, you know? I mean, if you want to lose 100 pounds, which is what I'm doing, 2 2 months of hardcore dieting, 2 months off or 1 month off, then 2 months more hardcore dieting, 2 months off. Let's keep doing that. But it'll work because you don't want to do it all. You don't want to do 6 months of hardcore dieting. I mean, you could do it. I mean, I could have been like 150 already if I would have stayed from eating this soup and beans from January to now. I'd been at my weight. I'd have lost 100 pounds in 6 7 months. And I know without a doubt that I could have done it. But, you know, I like to eat. I love to eat. And I'm not going to deny myself that for that long. So, now if my birthday was in July, oh, you betcha I would have did it. I would have did it. But my birthday's in December. And I wanted to be under 200 pounds by my birthday. And I didn't know if I would be able to do it. Because last year, I started a diet. And I doubt any of you have seen my diet videos from last year. Because I only did it a couple weeks and I stopped. And I think I lost 5 pounds and I gave up. And I gained maybe, I don't know, 15 pounds back after that. But this year I got absolutely serious because I didn't want to be over 200 pounds by my 30th birthday. And I'm well under that now. But I want to be 150 by my birthday. I want to be 150 pounds, 155 when I turn 30. So I have time to go slow with it. And if you're in a big hurry and big rush, you could use that to make it to your goal in a hurry. But that is not a lot of calories, and it is potentially very dangerous. And that is another reason why I do 2 months on, 2 months off, 2 months on, 2 months off. Because that gives your body time to recuperate and get in all the minerals and stuff that you've lost over the last 2 months. And you can do it again. So essentially that's what it is. Work hard, really hard for 2 months, take off, take a break. Work really hard, take a break. And that's how I did it. Now, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, comment below. Let me know. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm going to make a better video. I know I rambled on through this whole video. And I could have made it a 10-minute video. And once I'm ready to do the final version of it, I'm going to have all the numbers. I'm going to have everything. And it's going to be a lot better video. But that's not going to be for a while. Because I want to be at my goal when I do that video. Because I want to have the absolute before and after picture of it. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you still watched it, if you're still watching now, thank you very much. And I appreciate it. It's been almost an hour long video, and I doubt anybody's still watching, but thank you. I promise you, look at me, I promise you this will work. You will lose the weight. You can do it. It's not hard. Well, it is hard, but it's not hard on your mind. It's hard on your belly. But after a couple weeks, trust me, you will get used to it, and you will not be as hungry, and it will get better, and you will lose weight, and you will be happy, and you will be healthy, and you will have so much more energy, and you can breathe better, because you don't want to be overweight, and you don't want to be obese. You really don't. So here's what I did. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.